is Norman Jr. and Pablo together with...
I'm Chris Ivan Soga.
And today we're going to discuss how DNA spells evolution. So first, let's know what is. Hi, I am deoxyribonucleic acids. You can tell me DNA for shorts. I carry all genetic material. I am present on all organisms, regardless of species. And I am responsible for physiological, behavioral, and anatomical trait for every organism. So DNA, the unique structure of DNA allows it to be a hereditary molecule. And it allows us to store instructions for directing the cell's activities. So before cell's activities. So before discuss how DNA spells evolution, let's define these terms for us to easily understand the lesson. We will define mutation, convergent evolution, the analogous structures, divergent evolution, homologous structures, and parallel evolution.
So first, let's discuss the mutation, which refers to any change in the nucleotide sequence of an organism's DNA. So this occurs due to various factors such as errors during DNA replication, exposure to radiation or chemical mutagens, which mutations can result in alterations to the genetic code, and they are a source of genetic diversity within populations. So in this review, mutation can be deletion, insertion, or substitution. So deletion is when codons or even base pairs are removed from the sequence. Insertion is when codon or base pairs is inserted into the sequence. Then substitution, so here, possible alterations happen because of the amino acid sequence will change. So next is the convergent evolution. So convergent evolution refers to the independent evolution of single traits or features in unrelated species or lineages. So organisms facing similar environmental challenges may develop analogous structures or functions despite their distant evolutionary relationships. So in convergent evolution, they may acquire skill or possible abilities or body parts, but they don't have relation. For example, the bats and whales, so napakalayo naman dalawa sa in terms of their relation, walang silang relasyon. So, yung bats, they have echolocation just like dolphins. So, they use their echolocation for navigation and hunting prey. So, for echolocation is used, so, pag ginamit nila ng echolocation na ito, magbabounce sa object para malalaman nila kung yung size and kung yung location man nung nasa paligid nila. Ganon din sa dolphins, lalo na sa tubig, madilim, so magagamit nila yung echolocation. So, ganon nila na-acquire because in their environmental challenges, kailangan nila ma-adapt yung ability na yun para mabuhay sila or makasurvive. So, next is the analogous structures. So,
Shocker! Pakita!
ang result ng convergent evolution ay sa mga species ay makakadevelop sila ng analogous structure. So, ito yung analogous structure.
Oh my God!
Analogous structures are things or organs in different species that have similar functions but do not share common evolutionary origin. So, analogous structures are the result of convergent evolution, where unrelated species independently evolve similar traits in response to similar environmental challenges. So, sinabi ko kanina, environmental challenges. Tapos yung binigay ko kanina is skill or ability, but in here naman, body parts. So, same sila, ang bats, butterfly, and bird na they use wings for flight. So, yeah. The wings of birds, bats, and insects are analogous structures because they both serve the function of flight. But, iba-iba sila ng ancestor also yung kung ano yung composition ng kanilang mga wings. So, kung sa bats ay may partial skin, sa birds may feathers sila, at sa insects naman, more on more on scale sila. So, next is the divergent evolution.
Divergent evolution. This occurs when true for divergent evolution. So where different species have a common evolutionary origin. So despite of differences, these structures have fundamental similarities. Kahit magkakaiba silang structure, meron silang pagkakaparehas because they descend from a single ancestor. Okay? Examples for of human, cats, whales, and bats. Makikita natin, i-discuss sa kanina, they have the same set of bones. Iba lang yung shape and yung length ng structure. So, to furthermore, so furthermore, para maintindihan natin lalo, so, nabal ako dito ng very familiar faces. So, si Sir as our ancestor, si Ivan as descendants, and ako as descendants. So, this is just an example lang. Okay? So, si Sir, bilang sinito, siya yung ancestor namin. Let's say, galing siya sa China. Okay? Sa China, mahangin. Sa China, mahangin, maalikabong. Tapos, matags yung sinag ng araw. So, yung ancestor nag-develop ng singkit na mata. It's somehow scientifically proven. Next, nagkaanak si Sir, dalawa. Mestizo at Moreno. Okay? Kasi Moreno dahil pinanganak ni Sir sa Pilipinas, yung anak niya. Sa Pilipinas na this is just an example. Sa Pilipinas mainit. So, Moreno yung naging kalabasan. Ito naman, medyo mayaman yung nakampun sa kanya. Dahil, napunta siya sa States. Kaya nag-mistiso siya. Okay? So, kung mapapansin nyo kanina, similar sa wolves, fox, tapos dogs, medyo magpapaiba yung dalawang ancestor and their relation to the ancestor. Pero, sabi natin kanina, may fundamental similarities. Ano sa tingin yung fundamental similarities? Ano? Siyempre, pare-parehas ng COVID. Okay? Although, sino yung ancestor? Okay? Moreno, tapos, COVID. Diba? Although Moreno at mestizo, meron silang sinishare na similarities onto their ancestors. And that's what we call the homologous structure. Okay? The next one is parallel evolution. Parallel evolution is somewhat combination. Combination of convergence and divergent evolution. Why? Because this group of these are group of organisms, specifically mammals, they came from the same ancestor, the mammalian ancestor. Okay, they came from the mammalian ancestor, and nag-iwalay sila ng geography when it comes to their habitats. Pero independently, nagkaroon sila ng same adaptation and evolution. Okay, so independently. So anong kaibahan niya sa homologous, convergent and divergent? Sa convergent, may pagkakaiba, pero may similarities. Sa convergent, hindi sila magkamag-anak. Pero magkaroon ng similarities because of the same environmental pressure. Sa isa naman, sa convergent, magkamag-anak sila, pero due to different environmental pressure, nagkaroon ng medyo pagkakaiba, pero there's still similarities. Ito both. Magkamag-anak sila, and independently, nagkaroon sila ng same environmental pressure, kaya nag-develop sila ng same adaptation or evolution. Okay. So why is it important to understand those terms? Ano nga ang importante nun? Why does the terms are connected to our lesson? Number one is that we define mutation because these are the driving force of evolution on Earth. Mutation differences of our genome, the DNA. Next is convergent evolution, divergent evolution, analogous and homologous structure, as well as the parallel evolution. Makes us realize that although organisms change in morphology, they can still still connected to each other. Okay? So we can realize that we can solely rely on morphology of organisms in order to classify and them. May nag-aaway. The one on your right is Carolus Linnaeus. So, team traditional siya. Traditional. Ito naman si Carl Bruce. So, three modern classification siya. So, nag-aaway sila. Ano yung pinag-aawayan nila? Nag-aaway sila tungkol sa ano mas maganda. Traditional ba o modern? Okay? Sabi ni Carolus Linnaeus, we use morphological characters in order to identify them and classify them. Morphology is one of the most accessible technique, especially when working on film. No? So hindi naman kaya ng DNA, classification ng DNA pag nag-work on film, especially maraming organisms mo, and especially in zoologists. No? Sabi naman ng isa, morphological identification can be vital. People, even biologists, have their own biases in describing the characteristics of the organisms. Molecular identification using the DNA is more accurate because the DNA bases adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine are absolute. A, G, C, T, wala nang iba yan. Kung A na lang, kung G na lang, wala nang A version 2, volume 2, wala na. Okay? So sabi nga, these are more accurate. Okay? Sabi niya pa, pinakabulan niya, can you tell me what the colors is stress? Ito yung nag-revolve around the Facebook. Hindi ko alam kung bakit white and gold yung nakikita ng iba dyan.
Blue and black siya. Blue and
Ano
black.
ba?
It's blue and black, literal.
So somehow, traditional classification using morphology,
Nakita na yung totoong damit, blue and black.
morphology can be quite not accurate. Okay? Kaya napaganon ako ng mata. Okay? Pero, we use still morphological because it is more accessible and it's more practical when you are on the field or you are just observing the organisms. Depende po, ang traditional and modern, depende po yan sa paggamit natin. There's no more important or better than them. Okay? So now, in this part, we're gonna talk about the application of what we've learned. Now, let's practice. Practice makes perfect. But nobody's perfect. So why practice?
Iba pa na
So we do practice not to be perfect. We practice to become better. Okay? So to become better on analyzing the DNA, let's use the DNA sequences here to create cladograms.
So, this is the mission 1 in the activity we had in our subject. So, this is the mission 1, frog legs and fish eggs. So, dito tayo base, Midas chicklet has the same position 2 or cytosine content. So, West Indian Silocan also has C, and the position 2 Western cloud frog also has C. So, based on this data, we created the cladogram, which all of the species have C in their position 2. So, but having the position 3, Midas chicklet doesn't have it, so the species is separated from the cladogram.
Okay, in our mission 2, one fish, two fish, lungfish, and redfish. Okay, today I will somehow taught you how I create a cladogram. So in creating a cladogram, I first create a checklist. So yan, ito yung data. I-check na lang natin. So check. So bakit kailangan ng checklist for me ha? Okay, again, next. Okay. Kung makikita natin, yung pinaka-maraming check na characters, usually siya yung pinaka-bottom. Okay? Ganyan ginagawa ko. So, 4 checks sa bottom siya. 5 checks to 4 checks susunod. So, 3 checks doon and sino yung pinakamaraming check muna. And pinagtatabi ko yung sino yung organism, yung may pinaka-similar na checks. Okay? Ito, pinakamaraming check. Kaya una siya. Okay? Ganyan yan. Pinakamaraming check pa ganito, kaya inuna ko siya. So, frog, susunod. Ayan. Next, silawan, kasi yung check niya tatlo. Ganun, sunod-sunod lang. Okay? That's how I create my cladogram. Next. In terms of mission 3 naman, where tiny wild things are, so meron siyang, medyo complex siya. Because, as we can see here, may tatlong check, may tatlong check din dito. May dalawang check doon, may dalawang check doon. So pag nakuha siya, ganito gawin nyo. Check nyo kung yung check nito, nag-lapse ba doon. So in these terms, yung check dito, hindi nag-lapse sa check dito. Nag-gets mo ba? So yung check dito, walang check. So ibig sabihin, nasa magkaiba silang group. So para mas malaman natin ito. So for example yan, let's start with the pinakamaraming check. Ayan, G in position 2. So G in position 2 yung pinakamaraming. Ito, tatlong check, tatlo. Hindi siya na-overlap. So, paghihiwalay natin sila. So, bago na. So, yung C7, ito, nilagay dito. And yung T15, nilagay dito. Okay? Hindi kasi na nadala. Next, susunod natin yung mas mababa. Dalawa na. Tama ba? O, dalawa. Yung check dito, hindi nag-lapse sa check dito. So, magkaiba silang group. Saan sila nagkaroon ng chance? So, dito. And C15, tapos C position 1. Kaya nag-ibang group. And that's how I create the cladogram para maayos. And medyo efficient siya. And that's how DNA spells evolution. We use the DNA sequence to unravel the evolutionary relationship of different animals. Things,